Listener, beware. These true horror stories from Facebook will make you question every notification and friend request. What starts as a simple click can quickly spiral into a nightmare. Now brace yourself for tales that will make you reconsider your social media presence. Let's dive into the shadows of Facebook. Welcome to Facebook Horror Stories, a spine-chilling collection of true encounters that reveal the dark side of social media. In these stories, the seemingly innocuous act of connecting with others online turns into a harrowing descent into fear and paranoia. Each tale exposes the hidden dangers lurking behind friend requests, messages, and profiles. Be prepared to rethink your next online interaction because you never know who or what might be watching. It started with a simple friend request. Emily, a college student, was scrolling through her Facebook feed when she received a notification. The name was unfamiliar, Jessica Parker, but the mutual friends list included a few of her classmates. Without much thought, Emily accepted the request. Jessica's profile was typical. A few photos, status updates about school and friends, nothing out of the ordinary. They started chatting casually, discussing shared interests and college life. Over time, Emily began to feel like she had made a genuine friend. The messages started innocently enough, with Jessica asking about classes and weekend plans. But soon they became more personal. Jessica seemed to know things about Emily that she hadn't shared. She mentioned places Emily had been and events she had attended. At first, Emily brushed it off as coincidence. Maybe Jessica had seen her at these places or heard about them from mutual friends. But the details grew more specific, and Emily started to feel uneasy. One night, Emily received a message from an unknown profile. The message was brief but alarming. "Be careful of Jessica. She's not who she says she is." Emily's heart raced as she read it. She tried to reply, but the account had been deleted. Shaken, Emily decided to confront Jessica. She asked her directly how she knew so much about her. Jessica's responses were vague and evasive. Feeling paranoid, Emily decided to dig deeper into Jessica's profile. She found inconsistencies in her posts and photos that seemed edited or out of place. Emily began to notice a strange car parked near her apartment. She saw it several times over the next few days. One evening, as she walked home, she felt someone following her. She quickened her pace, but the footsteps behind her matched her speed. She turned around but saw no one. Panic set in as she rushed home and locked the door behind her. That night, she received another message from Jessica. "You can't hide from me." Terrified, Emily decided to involve the authorities. She reported the stalking and showed them the messages. The police took her seriously and started an investigation. They discovered that Jessica Parker's profile was fake. The person behind it was a man with a history of stalking women online. The police traced his location and arrested him. Emily was relieved but traumatized. She deleted her Facebook account and took a break from social media. It took months for her to feel safe again. Emily eventually returned to social media, but with a new perspective. She was cautious about accepting friend requests and sharing personal information. The experience had changed her, making her more aware of the potential dangers lurking online. Looking back, Emily realized how easily she had let a stranger into her life through Facebook. The platform that was meant to connect her with friends had almost cost her her safety. She now warns others to be careful and always question who they interact with online. Mark was a tech-savvy guy who loved exploring the depths of social media. One evening, while browsing Facebook, he stumbled upon an abandoned profile. It belonged to a girl named Sarah, who had tragically passed away a year ago in a car accident. Out of curiosity, he sent a friend request, not expecting anything to come of it. To his surprise, the request was accepted almost immediately. Mark was taken aback. He assumed someone else must be managing the account, perhaps a family member. He sent a message out of respect, offering his condolences. The next day, Mark received a message from Sarah's account. It was short and cryptic. "Thank you for your kind words." Mark was puzzled but didn't think much of it. Over the next few days, he continued to receive messages, each one eerier than the last. The messages contained details about his life that he had never shared on Facebook. Sarah, or whoever was behind the account, knew his daily routines, his favorite places, even his thoughts and fears. Mark started to feel uneasy. Determined to uncover the truth, Mark began researching Sarah's past. He found news articles about her accident and discovered she had been an active Facebook user. Her posts stopped abruptly on the day she died, but the account remained active with sporadic updates and likes. Mark reached out to mutual friends, but no one claimed to be managing her profile. The more he dug, the more he realized that no one had accessed Sarah's account since her death. Yet, the messages kept coming. One night, Mark received a message that made his blood run cold. "I'm watching you." He looked around his apartment, but nothing seemed out of place. Then his computer screen flickered, and Sarah's profile picture appeared, followed by another message. "I'm closer than you think." Mark's phone buzzed with notifications. His Facebook app opened on its own, showing Sarah's account activity. Photos from his apartment, taken from angles that suggested the photographer was inside, started appearing on her profile. Mark felt a chill run down his spine. Desperate for answers, Mark contacted Facebook's support team, but they dismissed his concerns as a hack or glitch. Frustrated, he turned to a paranormal investigator, hoping for a more serious approach. The investigator performed a cleansing ritual and advised Mark to deactivate his account. Mark followed the advice, but the messages continued. Now they appeared as texts and emails, always signed with Sarah's name. Mark felt trapped, unable to escape the digital haunting. In a final attempt to end the nightmare, Mark visited Sarah's grave. He hoped to find closure or at least a way to communicate with whatever was tormenting him. At the grave, he placed a letter, asking for peace and expressing his sorrow for disturbing her. The messages stopped. Mark felt a sense of relief wash over him. He reactivated his Facebook account cautiously, checking for any signs of Sarah's return. But her profile had gone silent, as if she had finally found peace. Mark's experience left him wary of social media. He shared his story online, warning others to be cautious about interacting with accounts of the deceased. He emphasized the potential dangers and urged people to respect the dead and their digital legacies. Mark's ordeal serves as a chilling reminder that some connections once made are difficult to sever. His story is a testament to the unseen forces that can manipulate the very platforms we trust to connect us. Lisa was an avid Facebook user who enjoyed connecting with new people. One day, she received a friend request from a man named Tom, who claimed to have mutual interests. His profile was well crafted, filled with photos and posts that seemed genuine. Intrigued, Lisa accepted the request. Tom and Lisa quickly hit it off. They exchanged messages daily, discussing everything from books to travel plans. Tom seemed charming and intelligent, and Lisa found herself looking forward to their conversations. As weeks passed, Tom began to ask more personal questions. He wanted to know about Lisa's family, her address, and even her daily schedule. Lisa felt uncomfortable but brushed it off, thinking he was just being friendly. Then she noticed inconsistencies in Tom's stories. He would mention events or places that didn't align with his previous messages. Lisa's unease grew, and she decided to do some investigating. Lisa reverse-searched Tom's profile pictures and found they belonged to a model from another country. Her heart sank as she realized she had been duped. She confronted Tom, but he denied everything, becoming defensive and aggressive. Determined to uncover the truth, Lisa contacted the real person behind the photos, who confirmed her suspicions. Tom was a fraud, using stolen images to create a false identity. Lisa felt betrayed and scared. After Lisa blocked Tom, she started receiving threatening messages from new, untraceable accounts. They contained personal information about her, details she had only shared with Tom. She reported the harassment to Facebook, but the messages continued. Lisa's paranoia grew as she noticed strange cars parked outside her house and felt someone watching her. She contacted the police, but they could do little without concrete evidence. Lisa's fear escalated as the threats became more explicit. One evening, while Lisa was home alone, she heard footsteps outside her window. She peeked through the curtains and saw a shadowy figure standing in her yard. Panic set in as she realized Tom's stalking had escalated to real-life harassment. She called the police, but by the time they arrived, the figure was gone. They advised her to stay with friends or family until they could investigate further. Lisa packed a bag and left her home, feeling both violated and vulnerable. With the help of a cybersecurity expert, Lisa traced the IP addresses of the messages and uncovered Tom's real identity. He was a disgruntled ex-employee of a tech company with a history of harassment. Armed with this information, the police were able to arrest him. Tom confessed to creating multiple fake profiles to stalk and harass women. Lisa's ordeal had finally come to an end, but the experience left her traumatized and distrustful of social media. Lisa took a long break from Facebook and social media. She focused on rebuilding her sense of security and sought therapy to cope with the trauma. When she eventually returned online, she did so with caution, using privacy settings and being selective about who she connected with. Lisa shared her story to warn others about the dangers of online imposters. She emphasized the importance of verifying identities and being cautious about sharing personal information. Her story serves as a stark reminder that not everyone online is who they claim to be.